Okay, it's 6:33, and I'd like to call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Eli Badger.
I'm here.
Kathleen DeWolf.
Here.
Lee Sharps.
Here.
Casey Varney.
Here.
Fran Newton here. Is there any public comment on the agenda before we get started? Seeing none, I will move on to approval of minutes. The first is from January 14th.
Oh, boy.
You have a few corrections, I see, Lee.
You're gonna miss me, won't you? Making corrections. No, I'm just kidding.
Go for it.
I wrote some of mine out, the longer ones.
Okay.
But starting with line 16, we're talking about the public hearing about the library, so the public will know. When you put in the third line where it says Alice stated, and then you went into the commentary, because she said all this, we need to clarify after the word stated, we should put Alice stated the following with a colon. And then everything that comes after that will be attributed to her rather than the board or the manager, because it isn't clarified.
Yep, okay.
It's a good description, but
Yep, okay.
let's see. Line 18 for where it says for books and projects, it should say books, comma, projects and programs like teen night. I'm just trying to see line 4, the
Yep.
4 understated, where it says stated. I wrote these all down anyway, Charlie.
All right.
Okay. Line 20 at where it says in purchasing the property on School Street, it should say in purchasing the property of the old high school on School Street, because there is other property on School Street. Line 22, elderly residents who rely upon the library instead of whom.
Right.
Well, line 20, I wrote 41 School Street at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah, I just thought we should put the old high school for future generations. You know what I mean? I mean, they
Sure,
could think it was
gotcha.
a house or something.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was doing.
Just thinking ahead.
Yeah. Oh, okay, line 24, 23, after school should be a semicolon. The next line after reclaim a historic landmark, period, then there should be a sentence, and I wrote it out to add, also the library provides a safe place for kids who use it after school hours and for residents and students without computers at home. I thought that was important.
Yeah, that is important.
And for the future, next year, if we need to use this information next year. Hopefully we won't, but maybe. You never
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
Line 26, and this property is instead of was a great bargain compared to what other towns have been
Yes,
paying.
definitely.
And then after paying to purchase new libraries or make additions, because some libraries put additions on instead of building new ones. I know this is extensive, but I think we should
No,
have
it's important
the record
stuff.
about the
Absolutely.
a record
Yep.
about and
I have
There's
one on
something-
30. Did you catch it on 30?
wait a minute, there was something else before 30.
Okay.
Oh, 26 where it says did look at other properties to move into, but the renovation costs were extensive, and right after extensive we should put, and there were other traffic, comma, parking and other issues. So people will know it wasn't just because renovation.
Right.
Go ahead with 30. then.
30, it says try county cap, resident owner, it should be owner occupant,
Right. Yep.
because it's not a residential
Okay.
unit.
Yeah, I thought that sounded funny too, but that's all I had on that page.
Tri-County what?
It's
Resident owner / occupant.
30, line 30. Gosh, remember when we didn't have these notations?
Yes,
We
this
tried
has
to-
been so much easier.
Oh,
The next page, line 24, wear and tear should be TEAR instead of TARE.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had a question mark.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. TEAR. That's autofill.
Page 3 at the top, MOU, if it's, some people don't know some of
Yeah,
these.
spell it out.
Yeah,
Well, just in parentheses, put memorandum of understanding.
Yeah.
And on the next one, if you use like CRF or Capital Reserve Fund in the first line where it says Capital Reserve Fund, if you put in
CRF.
parentheses CRF,
Yeah.
then after that, you can just use CRF
Right.
for the public.
Right.
Because I know some of these,
yeah.
like GIS should be written out also, because I
Yes.
don't think the public, I've been asked several times, what
Yep.
is the
Yep.
GIS
Okay.
project we keep referring to?
Yep, so you define it and then put GIS in
Correct.
parentheses.
And then just use GIS in the rest of the documentation
For this
I know.
particular
for
document.
that particular. Okay, line 14, it's Paula instead of Paul Hancock,
Oh, yeah, I didn't see.
or John Hancock. Yeah, you guys will miss that humor too.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And 38, where it says to add Selectman Sharp's recommendation, after recommendation, it should say, in agreement with the quorum of board on all warrant articles. Because it just says recommendation, to add
Oh,
me
that's
to
right,
yeah, yeah,
recommendation.
yeah,
because that was, yeah.
It should
yep.
say, in agreement with the
Right.
quorum of board
Right,
on all the warrant articles.
right.
Because there were a couple that had
Otherwise,
abstentions
it
or-
sounds like you solely recommended things.
And that's all I had on that one.
All right, anything else, Kathleen, you
No,
like?
no.
Casey? No, okay. In that case, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, January 14th as amended. Second,
I'll second it.
further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, January 20th.
Guess I may as well start.
You might as well start.
Number, it's the same thing, CDBG in that first line. if
Yes.
you just
These are
put
friends.
He's, all right, thank you for pointing that out.
Clarifying.
Fran.
Yeah,
Yes,
like a friend.
Community
yes,
Development
block grant, yes.
And then, under Roman numeral 2, it should say, open to any questions or comments,
Mm-hmm.
not of comments.
Okay,
And then where it says, Smith Hill Road out of the Highway Capital Reserve Fund this year, so people will know those repairs are gonna be done this year.
yes.
I think he said this spring, but to be
Well, this year is
this
safer.
year is
Yeah.
good. And then new business, Officer Moretto, we should put his first name in there
Yeah.
for
John.
future generations.
Yes,
And I don't remember what.
John.
J-O-H or J-O-N?
Yeah, and for, the future and for his family and anybody that
are
wants to
you
look
gonna
back
make
in
these, or do you want
minutes.
me to make them? I mean, I sent you the Word document, yes?
Yeah, I got the
I'm not doing
CBG and
Yeah.
John. What was the other one that Lisa?
To
Or-
any questions or comments under Roman numeral 2.
And
It says
this
questions
year,
of comments
and Smith Hill Road repairs this year. Out of the Capital Reserve Fund this year. Paragraph 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, ma'am, that's,
Okay.
geez.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, it's
anybody?
tough without the lines, isn't it?
I know,
Yes, it
sorry,
is.
I should have used, a
These
word,
bullets.
it was a short
year's.
minutes.
No,
Well,
they
I
were-
mean,
they
everything
were
was,
fine.
everything was
Alright.
written out for.
You don't want me to do it.
Well,
Mr.
I was-
Mr.
I
DeWolf
was-
used to laugh at me. He goes,
know.
I'm never asking you to do minutes again, Lee, because you write it like a newspaper story.
Yes.
I was conducting the meeting and taking minutes in my head at the same time, so. All right, any other comments, corrections? Hearing no more, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of January 20th as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, January 29th.
Did we seal those minutes? Because I don't remember.
No, we did not.
Okay. On that one, line 22, where it says board sealed the minutes, I don't believe we sealed the minutes.
Oh, yes, we did.
sure
Yes, we
did.
did.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and for
Yes.
until it was
Oh,
finalized.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
yes, we did.
recall. You
Okay.
didn't either? Line 25 where it says warrant articles at the deliberative session should add, if necessary. We'll discuss warrant articles at the deliberative session if necessary, because we didn't very much. And then the next line, 26, Town Manager Smith will provide answers, instead of will be provided answers. And then
Sometimes.
line 27, where it says unassigned fund balance, unassigned / undesignated balances, period.
Why?
Why?
It's the,
Because we had questions about unassigned and undesignated being,
well, what is the proper term? Is it
Yeah.
undesignated fund,
Unassigned.
unassigned fund
Oh,
balance?
he's unassigned.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we know that they're the same, but you're right, there was some questions. But
Okay.
if that's the proper term, you can leave it.
okay.
Yeah.
And then just add S to balances. I would, and that's all.
Anything else? I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of January 29th as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain or no vote? No, it's not there. Okay.
I'd like to say that if people are wondering why Lee's going this direction, if you read minutes from years past, sometimes you have no idea or very little idea really what happened, and that is the legal document
Yep.
for the
That's right.
meeting.
Yep.
So this might seem a little extensive, these edits, but
it's important
It is.
for-
So when you
for
pick it up, I
completeness.
haven't read back minutes in quite a while, but there were times it was like I couldn't figure out,
Yeah.
or meetings I had attended that I knew there was more happened at
Yeah.
the meeting than
Right.
the minutes reflect. It's not a word for word
Right. No.
transcription,
And
but
it shouldn't be, and also you cannot use quotes. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be that extensive, but just so you guys know, and it's in the right to know law, that when the new board takes over, and I do have some more suggestions that you should do every year for each board, one of the things you need to decide is how you want to write the minutes, because they're supposed to be brief, but some boards do them briefer than others, some do them more extensive, so you can decide that at your first meeting in March.
Okay. All right, thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Kathleen.
you're welcome.
Okay, new business, acceptance of and installation of the new playground at the ballpark.
Right, okay, so I'll start off with a conversation on this one.
Okay.
We were approached,
Yes.
2 months ago, good 3 months ago, out there by Mark, for acceptance. He received a donation to install.
What
a
Mark's
new-
title is, why Mark approached us. Who is he representing?
AARA.
AARA.
Recreation
Association.
So they received a donation to install a playground at the park. There was concerns amongst the board about acceptance of that at our public hearing. So we drafted a contract to reduce the town's liability or exposure and whatnot. This is something that it turns out that Game Time said that they've done in the past, and they were open to it. So our council drafted agreement. We sent it to Primex for review and sent it off to Game Time. They accepted it. They did make 2 changes in here. Those are the
It's in the
yellow,
yellow.
the yellow highlighted. That's what Game Time requested be added to the agreement. There's no concerns with council or Primex. And I asked Mark to
Oh,
be
yeah,
here.
police.
Yeah, there's a typo.
Sorry, I just noticed it while you were reading.
Yep, policies.
Two lines above the first yellow, it says polies, Polies. It probably should be policies.
I just can't stop doing this.
Oh,
Do you see where it is?
Wait, you were just
Yeah.
reading, so I just happened to notice it.
It's a typo, but,
okay.
But it could be mistaken for polls,
yeah,
Yeah.
which are probably going to
Yeah.
be insured.
yeah.
So you're gonna give me that copy, the
Okay.
the word copy.
It's just a
So
word.
It's just a typo.
So anyways, Mark's here to answer any questions after hope the board accepts this gift. And we'll open it up. Craig's here also to answer any questions, and Ian's here.
Okay.
Okay.
So if the board has any follow-up questions for us.
So is Game Time going to do the installation?
Game Time is,
Or are they just providing the equipment?
they have a subcontractor with them that does
Okay.
all their installations.
Okay.
There's dozens of them every year. So
Okay.
Wow.
we talk with Game Time.
Yep.
And it's their people doing it, whether it's technically their
Okay.
employees or.
Yeah, yeah,
their
okay.
stuff. That was
But it's
part
not
of-
town employees that are doing it?
No,
Okay.
the only town, what Craig had offered to do was to take out the old playground.
Yep.
And we have budgeted for the grading and that stuff, and we need a concrete pad, which we also have been budgeted for.
Okay.
Nice.
Is the donation to cover all those costs?
Yes,
Other
the
than
donation amount is, we've received approximately 58,000 so far, so it's
Okay.
still trickling in.
Wow.
Yeah.
They posted stuff on the sisters' memorial page, so
Mm-hmm.
family members are doing money in, and then in the end, the two remaining sisters are gonna provide the rest of the balance.
Wow.
Which we will get either the rest of the balance in our account before we submit the deposit to Game Time,
Okay.
or we'll get a letter stating that they
Okay.
will guarantee that to make sure.
is this going to be anonymous, or should we be, recognizing the?
No, it'll be the Catherine McMillan Playground. It'll be-
Okay.
Probably put a little plaque
Okay.
somewhere,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we want to
and-
make
and-
sure that
yeah.
she gets the proper acknowledgement.
We will talk with the donor and see if she wants to do like an opening ceremony
Yeah,
type
yeah,
thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think she may, normally they're very private people, but I think in this case they may want to do
Okay.
something which.
Well, if her
will-
name's going to
yeah.
go there,
That would be great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
Or a representative of the
Yeah,
family or
exactly.
something,
I
yeah.
think it should be duly
Get a
noted.
little publicity for it.
Definitely, have the newspaper there. I mean, I think it
course.
would be important.
That,
to
that
have
should
this-
be in our minutes. Speaking of minutes, is her name
Yeah,
in this
Right.
tonight.
As far as
What was her
installation
name?
date-
Catherine McMillan.
yeah.
Yeah. As far as the installation date, once we give them
A,
the
I
deposit,
believe.
they will tell us a timeline. Because we have a custom feature, the horse, the climbable horse for the kids.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
cool.
biggest concern with how long that's gonna take to produce.
Okay,
So he said that, but they thought even if Ann said, hey, it's better that we do this now, and then the horse goes in 6 weeks later. then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It just, the concrete has to cure for, I believe they said, it was either 5 or 6 weeks
Okay.
before, so.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
It may, the one item may be a later, like.
Now, will
say-
there be a soft surface put on top of the concrete?
Yes, the concrete has to be minimum of 12 inches below finished grade. Finished grade in this case is the playground safe mulch.
Yeah,
And.
That's all that
so-
rubberized stuff, correct?
I think it's wood fiber.
okay.
Well, it's not wood chips like they
Yeah,
used to
yeah, no,
use, yeah.
I know
Is
what it is,
You
yeah.
can't
Use
flour
anymore,
now.
nope.
They basically take them, they shred in a different manner to make them
Thank
have a certain
goodness.
compaction
Yeah.
ratio and all that. But we
Yeah.
budgeted for 12 inches as they suggested.
Mm-hmm.
So the concrete would be 12 inches underneath.
Yeah.
We'd just move it out of the way. They'd come in with a piece of machinery, set the horse, bolt it down or whatever. and
Okay.
Be good to go.
Great.
So-
Nice.
Any other questions?
The only concern I have is the boundary line.
Okay,
And it just occurred to me, it probably would be wise for us to have a site plan done for the whole ball field.
Mm-hmm.
If there isn't one available at the town office, so we know
There
exactly
should be one.
where our boundaries are.
right. Yeah, I had heard some concern that some of it might be Buskey's
Buskey's
property or
property,
whatever.
yeah.
We just want to make sure
Yeah.
that that's not the case. No?
I mean, what we can do is if we can determine that for sure. and
Yeah.
We can always rearrange move the.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Move this stuff, so they kept it, I can't remember exactly what the distance was, but they kept it off what we thought was the boundary line of
Okay,
Cernon anyway.
okay, good.
Just for safety.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we can't make
Nice.
any assumptions where the boundary line is.
Of course not.
We know about assumptions.
But we ended up doing this for the town beach. We have a certified site plan
Mm-hmm.
for the town beach. We know where everything is, and it was built to, not built to spec, what do you call it? You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
I
talking about.
know what you're talking about.
Built to plan, and that becomes the permanent
Yeah,
document.
the as-built, yeah.
As-built, that's it,
That's it.
as-built.
Okay,
But
fantastic.
he does have great plans that you gave us.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's wonderful.
These are great.
Yes, Craig.
When the Firemen's Association put the skating rink in, we had Tony do that
Okay,
for us.
Okay.
So we,
Probably has them in his archive,
okay,
but when we did
Yeah.
it, the boundary shoots across the back of that dugout,
yeah.
yeah,
the back side of the.
tennis court.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
And
it's very
It's
close.
the mill people who own that.
okay. Yeah, we just
Oh, yeah.
don't want to get
It might just mean
accosted on the
moving
street.
everything a couple of
But
feet.
I think it's beyond.
Yeah.
Or building
Okay,
right away.
okay.
I mean, you know how rumors spread around this town.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we've asked the question.
So, Charlie, maybe you should see if there's something in the office. that's
Yeah.
been filed.
Well, this is
you know,
this
the
is
patch
just so fantastic. I mean, we've talked about a new playground for several years, and to
It's
see this
unbelievable.
come to fruition, I know there've been some fundraising that didn't nearly touch it, and our gratitude goes out to these individuals for donating it. It's such an asset to the town and to our children. So,
Well, I'm probably going to get myself in trouble for saying this, but I mean, this makes it so much easier than going through some of the other processes to have things to benefit the town. This is an out-and-out donation.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through
Right.
warrant articles and et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. This is an out-and-out gift for a specific purpose. We do not have to ask the town permission to accept this gift. And that's a plus for everybody involved.
Yeah.
We had some rocky starts
Yeah.
because this was highly unusual, how this was going about. But in the end,
yeah.
we all decided, we got,
got-
Mark did
got what
his
we
thing.
needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got what we needed.
Thanks to Mark.
Yes, I definitely, our gratitude
and-
goes to AARA, because I know
And
that
Charlie,
you guys have.
our legal, the town legal team
Yeah.
reviewing this
Yeah.
stuff, they've become quite valuable, because this day and age, we need legal to.
Oh, we understand that
Put it
completely.
together.
Yes, to vet,
did
to
it
vet
pretty
all
quick,
of
yeah.
these
No, that's
documents.
wonderful,
It's
wonderful.
for everybody's protection, so hopefully this can go forward with no negativity.
Absolutely, that would be a nice thing. Charlie, do we need to just have a motion to accept it
Motion to
here?
accept and me to sign on behalf, because
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, so,
Mark, do you have something else to
I
say?
have one other question.
Sure.
Just before, not just gonna change your mind, but as far as the correct, how do you say it, process or line of information? Because Ann and I are kind of working together with game time on the date of installation.
yep,
Do I go to Ann, Ann goes to Charlie, Charlie goes to you?
yep,
Is that the way you
that,
guys want
that's
it to
the
go,
chain
or
of
do you want
command,
me to-
yes.
Do you want me to just copy Ann and Charlie on everything, or both of them? I mean, is there, I don't, we just. don't
Charlie, what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, because
Sure.
copy in and Yeah.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll just copy, I'll do it to
Copy
both of
Ann and
them.
Charlie.
I'll email Ann and Charlie.
Yeah.
whatever.
Writing down.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
dates
I think-
come up and things like that.
CCing everybody's kept in the loop,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's not a
everybody
bad
is in
thing.
those.
is in those
That's
two, and
right.
Charlie
Yeah.
keeps
Right, I
us
just
in the
didn't
loop.
wanna,
No, no,
10
we,
emails and doing it just
it's
fine.
great,
Sure.
great
So if
question.
Charlie doesn't pass it on, we go to him and say,
Yeah.
where's the info?
Basically.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Right, no,
the buck stops
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it does.
appreciate the comment. All right, so I will entertain happily a motion to accept this donation of the playground and authorize our town manager to sign the appropriate paperwork.
I'll make that motion.
Is
I'll
there a
second
second?
it.
Is there further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yay. Fantastic. Very exciting.
Before we move on and Mark leaves, I would like to say something
Go right
about
ahead.
him. And announce, I went. No,
Maybe you better run. You better run.
It's very good. I
Okay.
went to the last 4th of July meeting, and they have announced that Mark Liebert is the recipient of the Mary Rule Award this year.
Wonderful.
So,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
That's outstanding. And well-deserved. Fantastic. Thank you, Lee. Okay, Ashland Police Department, CRF expenditure for a new police car. Charlie?
Chief.
Chief?
Ola.
Chief?
So we're asking that the board release some of the money from the capital reserve fund to purchase a new vehicle.
And can you tell us about the vehicle?
Sure can.
Okay.
So, we're looking at a 2020 Dodge Charger.
Okay,
This is going to be an administrative vehicle, so no marking, black vehicle, very minimal light package, no cage, so minimum upfitting for expenditure there.
Okay.
Right now, we're just asking for, because I don't have the numbers for the upfitting of it,
yeah,
we're just asking for the money to be released for the vehicle purchase itself.
okay,
And actually, right now, it's just for the, we're asking for the whole amount to be authorized, but we're only gonna release 500 for a deposit so the vehicle can be ordered.
okay. Do you have an estimate for the total amount?
Yeah.
The total is
20-something.
26,794.96.
Okay,
And there's currently 32.5 in there.
okay,
So there's more than enough to cover it at this point. And that should, in theory, cover the upfitting as well, but just because I don't have the numbers, I'm not going to ask for that just yet.
okay.
I'll come back and we'll do that at a later date. Right now, the build time on these vehicles, because of their Their popular demand, the build time is several months out.
Wow,
So we won't get it for at least probably 3+ months at this point.
okay.
So we're trying to get some of this process started now to make sure that we get the deposit in so that we don't get pushed back even further.
Okay.
So why did you pick this model? When I Googled it, it said muscle car.
Well,
I was just gonna ask, did you look at the 1968 ones? Because those are like,
I think that
Boy,
makes more money.
I was in a few of those.
Yeah, I say, wow, muscle car.
So
Those are nice.
This is actually, the model that we're getting is actually a civilian model vehicle.
Okay.
Okay.
The reason for
It
that.
didn't look wow when I looked at the pictures, you know,
Did it-
wow per
did it
se.
really still
It's,
say that?
Huh?
It said that? for
Yes, it did.
2020?
Yes.
So we really need an all-wheel drive vehicle here.
Yes.
And, well, obviously, you know, I mean,
I
goes without
know.
stating, really. The only sedan that's on the market right now for police vehicles is the Charger. For
Okay.
all-wheel
Okay.
drive. The
Oh.
the other vehicles from other manufacturers, they're all front-wheel drive vehicles.
Yeah.
And just doesn't work for us.
No.
We're trying to get away from the utility size because it uses more gas. And now that Dodge has come out with this all-wheel drive version, I've talked to the troopers have all gone to it.
That's pretty
A lot of
neat.
the area PDs have gone to them.
Wow.
I've talked to the road people, the road officers at night that are going in snowstorms, and they're saying that there's no problem with
They
it.
handle well.
That's good.
So, especially with the state bid tires that we typically put on for winter use, there hasn't been any issue.
Good.
I spoke to Chief Partridge over in Holderness. He's required to get 3 bids. I believe he actually got 5 for this.
Okay.
Wow.
He just got the police model version of this from Crosstown up in Littleton. He said that they beat everybody else's prices.
Oh,
So I
Oh,
went straight
wow.
to Crosstown.
Yeah.
okay.
And they were able to give me so because these vehicles are so popular, you cannot get a police model 2020.
Oh.
Oh.
They are
So these are-
built out for the year.
so
Wow.
these are taking the place of the Crown Vics of the
Yes.
past.
Yeah.
So
For the
there's no more
utility.
Crown
Yeah.
Vic.
Oh,
Okay.
no Fords. Fords are out.
But that was the police utility
was.
car, so to speak,
Yeah.
for
They
years
were
and years
great.
and years.
I'd love to have them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you could explain down here for the public where it says the proactive officer, the vehicles you currently have are getting more use. Why?
Yeah, so we are up to our current full staff of 5. We're in the hiring process for a 6th person. We actually had interviews today. And right now, our officers, we've specifically hired for a purpose. And we have very proactive people. With that, that means they're on the road more, they're driving around more, and our mileage on our cars is starting to go up and up. And now that we're adding another position, the mileage is only gonna go significantly higher
Yep.
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
just the 3 vehicles. So having the 4th vehicle, we're keeping our cars on rotation to keep them up to spec so that we can respond adequately to calls. This vehicle will be an administrative style, so with no marking. So like somebody's going to training in Portsmouth, it's not an Ashland cruiser being seen in Portsmouth. It's
Right.
somebody saying, why
Why are you
out
there?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Runs to Concord for state lab, for training, for all kinds of, for the warehouse trips that we have to do, for ALS hearings. All the paperwork we have to do in Concord, at least it'll be the unmarked vehicle going down there.
Okay.
It's just gonna be highway mileage, so the other cars that are in town aren't gonna get beat up as much. And
Yeah,
we can have
good.
our patrol rigs focused on just that, which will be patrol.
Okay.
And then when it's out of town, it won't be as big of a deal, I think.
Okay. That
Great.
sounds great.
I don't know if anybody else, but I've heard in the last few weeks, residents are pleased with the visibility of seeing the cars
Yeah.
out and about town.
Yes.
Cool.
No, that's.
is.
I think
Yeah.
that's really good.
And I was at someone's house, they said, look, they're driving by.
Yeah.
Maybe
It-
that's why, Kathleen. 'cause you-
No, no. Unless they know maybe they do know my vehicle. But it gave them a sense, it pleased
It
them.
does
Yes,
make you feel
yes,
safer. Yeah.
Yes, it did,
It does.
yeah.
We want the marked units to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I take 5 nights of on-call a week, and so that's one marked car that's not in town.
Yeah.
Because it's
Right.
at my house, because I'm on call.
Right.
So having the unmarked vehicle at my house when I'm on call 5 nights a week, it's one less car to be seen outside of town on a regular basis.
No, it's a
Right.
good idea.
Less questions and easier.
Wonderful.
No, good answers,
Okay,
yeah.
in that case, I will entertain a motion to expend $26,794.96 from the Ashland Police Car Capital Reserve Fund for the purchase of a 2020 Dodge Charger police cruiser.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I just want to, before we accept it, to point out to the public that this is an example of our capital reserve fund,
Amen.
which you are going to be voting on March 10th. This is how we use those funds that were started not that many years ago and that are
Right.
now established in all the departments.
Right.
And also, I want to give credit to the former chief, Tony Randall, because he's the one that started implementing the rotating car replacement program too, and that's worked out great.
No, this has worked out exceptionally
And
well.
thank you,
This is-
Casey, for speaking to that at the SB2 meeting.
Absolutely.
Capital
How
reserve
important this
fund.
No,
is.
this is extremely
For,
important.
And this is an
You know,
example.
and 5 years ago, we had no capital reserves except for the town clock. That was it. So
Yeah.
we
And we had
made,
to ask for article,
I know.
article before the
yeah.
voters, and this way
this
it's
is tremendous.
how we use it.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, chief.
Thanks, chief.
All right, is there any other new business?
Oh, do it under.
No, that'll be on the select board. items.
Okay, any old business? Seeing none, select board items?
I've chatted with you and I've chatted with Charlie about getting CIP
Yes,
going again.
Yes.
So we'll leave it with our town manager, how he's gonna handle this.
And what
Be-
that is. for the
Yeah.
And
public.
the capital improvement plan, this ties in with
Right.
capital reserves. This is where the department heads plan out, let's say 5 years ahead, what are they
Right.
gonna need for their capital
Right.
expenses?
Right.
And then how to,
Farsighted.
proactive, farsighted, looking forward, whatever term you wanna use. And this is how we prepare our budget going forward.
Yep.
To
Good
make,
idea.
to have the money there, so when they're needed, we do not have to go to the public and ask, once again, warrant article after
Right.
warrant
I know.
article to try to get these basic needs, and most of them are basic needs, taken care of. And it's worked, this, hopefully this year, Craig will get the equipment he needs, the chief is getting the vehicle he needs. Hopefully, in the future, Ann will be able to get the items she needs for her grounds and building maintenance. And it won't be as, I feel it's not as painful to the taxpayers
no, it's not,
either.
and, you know, we owe the town voters thanks
Yep.
because they have approved all of our capital funds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful, especially like $125,000 a year for road improvements. I mean, that's really it's saving us. And when we have these discussions, like we did at the SB2, about, all these warrant articles are adding to your taxes, and I tried to explain, you're already paying, because this is just a continuation of things that are built into our budget. And we don't get hit with these one-off expenses.
Well, the fire engine is a prime example.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
the fourth year payment on that is over $200,000.
I know.
And
It's
that would be almost $1 on the tax rate next
Absolutely.
year if we didn't have capital
Reserves.
That's right.
because otherwise the truck would go back and but instead the capital reserves
That'd be ridiculous. wouldn't
yeah,
it?
this
would
capital
be.
reserves you've been able to
Yeah.
chip away at it
Yeah.
year
Right.
over year.
Well, and even with the library, they've managed
no
to build up
impact on
capital reserves so that, with any miracle, we get that building purchase approved.
use it for
They've got that money for furnishings.
That's right.
Yeah, or any building,
building.
because there was a time when they had nothing. So the very first warrant article that came out for the purchase of the library included furnishings, and now we've
Yeah.
managed to add to their capital fund. So this is extremely important to the finance health of the town. So we really do need to get a good, solid plan and make it obvious to the public,
And that's what I struggle with. We all understand this. I went to the budget workshop last year, even though I wasn't the budget ex officio or
Yeah.
sat on the budget committee, so I could have a basic
Yeah.
idea and understanding. So if I was asked by somebody, I could say it in the way that I understood it and
Right.
hope they could.
Right.
It's still a struggle. I
It
believe
is.
many residents really do not grasp
They do
the
not.
complexity of
you're right.
managing these budgets, and it can be daunting at times, and I believe we as a board, this board here, we worked well together doing this, and we put
Yeah.
forward a budget that we felt took care of the needs of the budget of the department heads, the needs they had, and what was good for the town, and that would benefit
Yep,
everybody that lived in town,
Right.
whether you're a taxpayer or not.
absolutely.
So,
You know, I sympathize with the pain that we all suffer with paying property
Yeah.
taxes. You know, my house isn't free. But, you know, I think, as Kathleen said, we have worked together and came up with a budget. I'm glad that at least it stood at the SB2, because I was a little concerned there for a bit. But you're right, a lot of people do not have an understanding of municipal financing. And Steve Felton got up and talked about in the past, the budget committee itself had financial forums. That doesn't happen anymore. So maybe it's up to the select board to educate the public. I mean, this whole unassigned fund balance is difficult to understand. And we need a better way to educate people, because they think we're sitting on a pile of cash and we've overtaxed. Anyway, I'm not going to go there
so
any
we're putting
further,
it on
but
the
we're
town
putting it on town manager to-
He did a good explanation about the cash and the non-cash
Yeah,
that we had.
but the
Saturday.
capital reserve plan needs to be really solid, and it
Yeah.
needs to be presented to the public.
Yes.
So that they know 5 years from now, we're gonna need a new 1-ton truck, and 3 years from now, we'll need another police vehicle. There will not be a surprise and a painful explanation at the SB2,
Right.
so that's a high priority.
Or we need
He
a
wants
new
a
bridge.
10-wheeler.
Or we need a new bridge.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, and I've repeated that multiple times
Yes.
in the last month, how that was a prime example
Yeah.
of not having capital reserves.
Exactly.
Groton
And
just
fire
fixed the
department roof.
bridge today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw
The
The other-
covered bridge.
Great.
Yeah.
Grayton?
Great.
that was,
Great.
did you
Yes.
say Groton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
So
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I watched him Friday, it was Friday,
this
didn't it?
afternoon, I went to the library, and there was a patron there with his 2 children, and I don't know his name, but I know he goes there quite often. And the library staff said he just bought a house.
Oh,
His
nice,
first house
nice.
in Ashland, so I congratulated him.
Nice.
And he was all excited, and he says, I want to live here. He uses the library all the time. He can. His wife works in town. It's near the schools. He can walk to Surefine. He can't wait to move in. So, contrary to some of the
Negativity.
negativity out there,
Yeah.
this person probably could have chose to live anywhere
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
but he chose to buy his first home in Ashland.
In a town that has a library.
Yes.
So,
Not that
So-
we have a strong opinion on that or anything.
but it was just for me it was this trying to remember how exciting it was to have your first home.
Yeah, for sure,
And,
for
and
sure.
that this town isn't all negative.
It is
That's
not,
right.
and we need to do a better job at making sure people understand that there's a lot of
I
positives in
think we've
Ashland.
tried to do a good
I
job
think
this
we
year,
have,
this
I
board
think we
has.
have.
Yeah.
Yes, and since that I won't be at the next meeting, I want to again express my gratitude to
Oh,
this entire board.
You want? Oh, you mean I have to do it?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. This
I don't know, we have to move it too, by the way.
This board has been, for me, a real pleasure to work with. Can I finish talking? You're going to interrupt me.
You're getting me in trouble, Eli.
Boy, is this a funny meeting.
Anyway,
Oh,
you know, I have felt extremely lucky to have had the 4 of you to work with, and of course our wonderful town manager, because I think we've not always agreed, and we
Right.
don't have to, but we've been open and honest and collaborative,
Yes.
and worked for the best interests of the town, and it's just been a pleasure for me, and I want to thank all of
too.
you, and I'm really going to miss you and Lee and Casey. I'm really going to miss you, and hopefully the next board will work as well as we have. But again, my deepest gratitude to all of you. So
and I hope Casey
Thank you.
learned something from this experience.
Yeah. that he's
never to run again.
He was great, learning experience.
All right. Is there any other select
And
board
that he
items?
may come back in the future.
Yeah, that would be nice. You're always welcome to put your name in, Casey.
I just had one
Okay.
other small thing
what do you
from
have?
the,
What do you have?
from the 4th of July committee.
No, I've got to review it all first.
Wait. But Lee's speaking, please. Thank you.
Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah.
He asked me something.
I I just wanted to mention a couple other things at the 4th of July. They also, besides announcing that Mark Lieber was Mary Rule, Ron Shaw is going to be the Grand Marshal this year. He's a veteran and a Penny
Okay.
flag guard at the school for forever. And they also picked their logo for the badge.
Oh,
I'll pass it around. They're just
Okay.
going to move this over a little bit, but it shows trees
Oh,
and
very lit.
the lake and the
Lovely.
sun. And
lovely.
That
Okay.
one.
that's all I have.
All right, Kathleen, did you have something? Or Eli?
I did share this with Eli, and I sent it to you. I don't know if it's coming into the town office. At Pemmy River Local Advisory Committee last week, it wasn't on the agenda, but the environmental consultants hired by Eversource came to the meeting. They're doing their routine vegetative maintenance, mostly on the Plymouth side, that side of the river from Thornton on down.
Okay.
Well, it's when you think about it, it's the area they didn't manage because
Because they thought,
Because they thought Northern Pass was
going to go
coming through.
through
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So it will come across the river on the town through our property.
Okay.
They gave us, it's the same overheads as was provided for Northern Pass. And that's what we're giving it to her, and they asked us, would we sign off on it? Would they leave the room and give us 5 minutes to discuss it? And I said,
Wow.
I cannot sign anything for 5 other towns.
Absolutely.
So we did reach a compromise with the cover letter that there's 2 areas of concern where the vegetation has been cut right down to the water edge. I believe one of them is behind Alex Ray's property, and one's further towards New Hampton, where it's all sand. That there would be a site walk with a PERLAC representative and the arborist from Eversource. So this is, I believe, Eversource's new PR that they're trying to do, and they're using the new expedited. The new PBNs, the new permit by notification that DES rolled out, and this is why we need, when we use acronyms, we need to define them.
Yeah.
Because I knew what
That's
they
right.
were talking
Yep.
about, but there were quite a few PERLAC members that had no idea what these acronyms, like BPN,
Yeah,
what's
PBN. Yeah.
BMPs, best management practices.
yeah.
They didn't know because they aren't on conservation
Right.
commissions, and they haven't dealt with this.
Yeah.
I have all the documents that were provided. I sent them to Eli and I sent them to Charlie, but they're supposed to come to the town office, to the town clerk. And I feel once they come into the town office, that during one of our work sessions,
They
we can
should be
sit.
reviewed.
We
Yep.
should just at least look at them
Yep.
and see if we have any concerns. Because with a PBN, there's no time, you can't give input. And that was what concerned me the other night. They wanted us to sign off on it immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like,
is
yeah.
that something that's supposed to take place this summer they're trying to do?
Yes.
Right?
Well, they
so
do-
they're trying to have, PERLAC, by the way, is Pemmy River Local Advisory
Committee, I think is,
They're trying to take care of, it used to be, they used to poison all the weeds under the lines, stuff like that, but they want to implement it now, this summer, this year? Right?
this is part of their routine. They're about,
This year?
yes, starting during their, well, as soon as they can get out there. And that came
Wow.
up, do you flag wetlands and stuff like that? So, it was a flashback to dealing with Eversource during Northern Pass that,
Yeah, it sounds like they were trying to pass it right through.
well, once again, as a utility, they aren't required by law to do any of this kind of outreach. It's just, this is what we do. We'll notify you,
Yeah.
and then it's done.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
at least we got something in the letter
that's
saying,
good.
hold on, wait a minute.
Okay,
But I
great.
said, I wouldn't want anybody sitting at this table signing for Ashland.
No.
And there wasn't a
Good thing
representative
you
for
said something.
well, and then I know what I realized, and you probably know too. Eversource never approached PERLAC during
That's
that
right.
process.
That's correct, and the advisors, that committee was one of the most instrumental in
Yeah.
getting rid of
Yep.
Northern Pass,
Yep.
or whatever you want to call it. They were at the hearings every day. They were,
But this was
Very-
a flashback for me. This is, this is how they operate.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate the heads up, and I thank you for that, and we will certainly take a look at the documents.
Yeah,
when they
once
come in.
again, they
Yep.
have, they can trim things that appear that might fall on the lines.
Yeah,
even-
yeah.
We all know this, but once they come to the office where everybody can, I can send you, I can forward to if everybody wants it. Could you open up the documents to see the maps?
I didn't.
Okay, but once we can put it all out in front of us and
Okay.
look at it and see if
Good.
we have any concerns,
Okay.
to make sure. that
Great.
we let them know.
Thank you, Kathleen. You're welcome. Anything else?
I have a few.
Okay.
Our conditional offer for the superintendent position was accepted
Oh,
by
wonderful.
Rob
Great.
Kuhl. The board can sign. It's there. So
Okay.
when we wrap
Great.
things up.
Yep.
The other thing is our next meeting. We're gonna have to move. That's President's Day. It's a holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Tuesday, just the next day.
Okay,
or something.
what's the date?
I believe it's the 17th.
Okay.
yeah, that's weak. Okay.
Okay.
It's fine with
Anything
me.
else, Charlie?
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh, come on, show us meeting. Oh, no, you got one in March.
Yeah, one in March.
Yeah.
Anything else, Charlie?
That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought you should had
You
a
said
couple
a
of things.
few.
Yeah, you said a few
Just
things.
two.
That's a couple.
Yeah.
All right. Any public comments? We don't have a non-public?
I wanted a brief legal update.
Okay, in that case, we will have a brief non-public meeting to
Very brief.
discuss legal. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Do you have a form?
Yes, I do.
I need a